I am all snug in bed right now as I record this, just because the bedroom is the best place for me to record, and it's cozy, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get out of bed once I'm done recording. So, there's that. Howdy heckin' hey my dudes, how are y'all doing? Good. I'm great, because in terms of Forget Me Not 1, this is the last character that I have to do a This Is video on. Very small cast for Forget Me Not 1, but trust me, as soon as Forget Me Not 2 is up, you're going to be getting more characters, more descriptions, more bios, and it's going to be a hell of a fun time. But you know what, we're also going to have a hell of a fun time right now, because today we're talking about Chivon, and Chivon is probably one of my favorite characters in terms of her relatability and how cute she is, and just, I love her soft baby bean. But yeah, without further ado, we should probably get started talking about her, hey? So, her name is Chivon, just like the other two, no documented last name. She's the same age as Hailey, 1 year younger than Caden. She's 21 as of the start of Forget Me Not. And she's female, but she honestly doesn't really particularly care about pronouns. You could call her a she, you could call them a they, you could call him a he, and she wouldn't really mind. It's very rare for her to get called by he, him pronouns. It's usually either she, her, or they, them. But if you called them a he, him, she's not gonna turn around and fucking murder you. She really doesn't care. In terms of her sexuality and relationships, Chivon is what I like to call gay, homosexual gay. But she's not like the cool, strong kind of butch lesbian. She's not really like that. She's the kind of lesbian that gets very easily flustered by other women. She's very, very shy. She doesn't really know how to interact with them. She loves them. But only in a romantic way, because Chivon happens to be asexual. And I'm sure we all know what asexual means, but in terms of the kind of asexual she is what I call, I don't know if this is the correct term, but she is sex repulsed, which means that even if she was in a relationship with someone who wanted a sexual relationship, she would not be able to do that. There are some asexuals where they can have sex for the sake of their partners, they just don't really get a kick out of it. Chivon is not one of those people. Even if it was for the sake of her partner, she just simply cannot bring herself to do anything sexual whatsoever. It's not her thing. I'll be right honest and upfront right now by saying that I think Chivon is probably going to be one of the more interesting characters to talk about, simply because her role in the trio is to kind of be the middleman, kind of be the peacemaker and keep things between Hailey and Caden civil. Because she's friends with both of them, so she's just kind of in the middle trying to keep the peace. Chivon has known both of these idiots for about 8 years and is the only reason they're back together, since they both seemingly care for her and want her in their lives. She wants both of them in her life, and so they kind of just have to be together if they want Chivon to be happy. That's kind of why the whole dynamic is sticking despite Caden's feelings towards Hailey. It's because Chivon is there. Overall, she's just a really sweet little bean who doesn't want anyone to get hurt. She cares about her friends a lot, and she tries to support them in any way she can. She doesn't like to swear at all. Usually she will say fig instead, like the fruit fig. She'll say fig instead of actually swearing. And the only times she will swear is when she's in a highly emotional situation, and it's very stressful, very, very tense. She can't help but swear in those situations. But for the most part, she is pretty pure. Despite her kindness, however, she's not one to let others overstep their bounds, and this really, really shows in her dynamic with Caden. While she cares for him very, very deeply and wants him to be around, she doesn't let his bad behavior slide, and she calls him out on it when she gets the chance. She's also the more level-headed of the trio, considering that she's the one constantly trying to maintain peace between the two. She's often looking at scenarios through a lens of how will this benefit the team, rather than how will this benefit me, if that makes any sense. She's also more often than not the voice of reason, but unfortunately, Caden and Hailey are both dumbasses, and so that voice usually tends to fall on deaf ears. She's also the kind of person who tends to wear their emotions on their sleeve, for better or worse. It makes her really, really easy to read in any kind of highly emotional situation, since whether she wants to or not, she literally cannot hide how she feels. If she's upset or excited or distraught, it's written all over her face. She has a complete inability to mask her feelings. She doesn't know what a poker face is. And wearing her emotions on her sleeve and not being able to mask them properly usually causes her to fall out of her peacekeeping role when she gets highly emotional. She can get very vocal and angry, and she'll slip up and she'll fall out of her peacekeeper mentality. But she is very, very quick to try and reclaim those roles despite how she feels at any given moment. So, for example, if she's really, really pissed off at something and she can't hide how angry she is, she will lash out, she will get angry. She might even yell a little bit depending on how angry she is. But very, very quickly, she will try and push her actual reactions aside in order to keep that peacemaker role. So she might still be angry after she lashes out, and it's still very clear that she's angry, but she's trying her best to not let how she feels get in the way of her maintaining peace within the group. Unfortunately, one of the things that comes with being the peacemaker of the group and being someone that both Caden and Hayley hold to put on a pedestal, I guess, they put her very, very high up on their priority list. One of the downsides of that is that if Chivon is in any danger whatsoever, her being in danger can either make or break the peace between Hayley and Caden. If Chivon is in danger, it puts them both in a really stressful situation, especially if she's in danger away from them. So she's not there to be able to maintain the peace between them, and they kind of have to work together in order to get to her. And sometimes that works, sometimes it helps them strengthen their bond, and sometimes it just ruins it. She's seen by both Caden and Hayley as the one who needs to be protected, which has its ups and downs, but realistically, can you honestly blame the two of them? I mean, look at her, she's so cute and smushy. I want to protect her from all evil things in the world, and that's just how both Caden and Hayley feel. They have a massive amount of respect and care and love for Chivon, and because she's so small and itty bitty and foofy, they want to protect her, they want to keep her safe, and sometimes it's appreciated, and sometimes it pisses off Chivon because it makes her feel like a baby or like a delicate flower, and she doesn't like that. But again, can you really blame Caden and Hayley? Look at her, she's so cute and foofy. Like, if I was in that position, I would want to protect her too. Unfortunately though, like the case with Hayley, Chivon's character development and actual growth as a person happens outside of book 1. It actually happens in book 2, which, surprise, surprise, book 2 is being worked on right now. The pages are currently in development, it's coming along real smooth, and you're really going to see Chivon actually step into her character and really grow and develop. So most of her development happens in book 2, and there's a little bit in book 3, but book 3 is just still dot points in a notebook at this point. I would like to say that Chivon, despite her appearance, is a very, very strong character, and everyone who's already read Forget-Me-Not in its entirety, whether it was an alpha reader, a beta reader, my co-writer, people who have the physical copy of the book, just those kinds of people, everyone who has read Forget-Me-Not 1 in its entirety has said that Chivon is their favorite character, so take what you will from that. I would also like to say, just a quick little fun fact, the Chivon that you get in Forget-Me-Not 1, well, the entirety of Forget-Me-Not, is actually completely and entirely different to what the original concept for Chivon was. She looked entirely different. She had long hair, she had a lot more symmetrical markings. I want to say she kind of looked like a cross between like a wolf and a deer. I'm not entirely sure. If I can find the picture, I'll pop it up on screen. But she looked incredibly different, and her personality was balls to the fucking walls. Instead of being this cute little demi-romantic, asexual voice of reason that just wanted to be safe, she was one horny motherfucker. Her entire plot is that she was supposed to be the comedic relief, and her entire personality trait was that she wanted to fuck Caden, and she was actually really, really jealous of Hayley when Hayley came back into the picture because she saw Hayley as competition for Caden's penis. She was really, really horny. And that character was fun to work with. There were some genuinely funny moments, and she did make a really good comedic relief, but eventually as the story progressed, it became really, really clear that this version of Chivon just was not gonna work with the story that we were trying to tell, so she got completely scrapped. And the Chivon that you got now, the one that I love so much that I would protect with my entire life, is essentially a completely different character. She got a complete overhaul. The only thing that this version of Chivon has in common with the beta version of Chivon is the name. everything else is entirely different. These are two completely different characters. And honestly, I'm really happy with how Chivon came out. She's, like I said, one of the more interesting characters to talk about, especially once book 2 is known to the public and you guys actually get to see her actual development and her actual character arc. That's going to be really, really fun. But even just the audience seems to really like Chivon. They kind of gravitate towards her, and I think that's really good. When you have a character that the fan base really likes and really wants to cheer on, then it just, I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. And the fact that she was so well received in book 1, like the fact that people genuinely just attached to her and really liked her, actually also changed the entire way that Forget Me Not 2 was written and how Forget Me Not 2 ends. I might talk about it once book 2 is actually out and finished, but something was supposed to go down, a lot of things were supposed to go down, and a lot of the readers who had read book 1 and I was working with book 2 didn't like the direction just because they loved Chivon so much. And I was like, shit, okay, they're way too attached to this character, and so I had to change a lot of things and develop a lot of things in order to make it work in a way that would satisfy readers and still satisfy myself and still tell the story that I wanted to tell. So it's really, really interesting how many things can change once you develop a character that people really, really like. Another little fun fact is that Chivon's hair is so spiky and messy and all over the place because that's not actually how her hair is supposed to look. If you've seen pictures of Chivon before the zombie apocalypse, again, I'll pop them on screen if I can find them. Her hair is very, very smooth and like kind of wavy, but also very well kept, except for that one really big hair tuft that she has at the front. That's kind of always been there. But her hair is the way it is because when the apocalypse started, there was a zombie that kind of grabbed onto her hair and she got stuck and she didn't know what to do. And so out of panic, she took her combat knife and she kind of just cut her hair off in order to get away, similar to Sakura from Naruto or Greg from Steven Universe. And she never actually got to properly cut it or properly trim it and make sure it was cut properly. And so as it started growing back, it grew back in this really messy, jumbled mess. So that's why her hair looks the way it looks. But yeah, this was Chivon, and with that, this was all of the characters in Forget Me Not 1. Like I said, incredibly small cast, but in book 2, we're going to be getting more cast members, more bios, more like really fun videos with them, because that's where the story really takes off and the world kind of really develops. Book 1 is essentially just about Caden and Caden's feelings, so that's why the cast was so small. I really like making these videos. These are really fun. I just love to gush about my characters because I love them so very, 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 very much. But yeah, this was Chivon. I hope you like her. I know I said she's kind of the most popular character at the moment, but let me know what you think, if she was your favorite character, or if you attached yourself to Haley more, or if you really, really love to watch the downward spiral that is Caden. Let me know, because like I said, we're currently working on the sequels and a prequel and a spin-off right now, so any feedback is much appreciated. You can read Forget Me Not on Instagram, Twitter, Webtoons, and now on DeviantArt. I started posting the pages on DeviantArt as well. All of the links are in the description. If you like zombies, if you like drama, if you like exploring human relationships and just the human condition in general, then I'd recommend at least giving it a go. There's bound to be something in it for you. And if there's not, that's cool, no worries. I just really, really want to share this beautiful thing that I made that I love with all of my heart and soul. And yeah, y'all know the drill by now. Stay warm, stay cozy, stay toasty. If you sneeze during the video at all, then bless you. And yeah, I'll see you in another one. Bye-bye.